All right. So we're going to be talking about the advanced market structure, and in the second class for the evening section, we'll be talking about order flow. So today will be on advanced market structure. The next morning class will be on advanced market structure. The next evening class will be on order flow. The next evening class will be on order flow, just as I wrote it there. So basic market structure, know from what Steven has told you, is just simple break of structure internally. Okay, so this is considered as the normal basic market structure, right? So he will, or he must have told you that when we have a break of structure, this point becomes a strong low, while this high becomes weak high, strong low bets a weak high. When there is a break of structure, the high becomes weak and the low becomes strong. The low becomes strong, the high becomes weak. Why? Because this high got broken by this low. So this low becomes strong and this high becomes weak. This is for an uptrend. Okay, then for a downtrend, the high becomes strong and the low becomes weak. Why? Because the high took out the low. Okay, for uptrend, the low took out the high, but for this, the high took out the low. So this low becomes a weak low. Now, a strong high bets a weak low because what? It breaks structure. If there is no weak low, there is no strong high. Why? Because it needs to break structure to be called strong. Whether it's an uptrend or a downtrend, it needs to break structure to be considered as strong. So for this, in an uptrend to be considered as a strong high or a strong low, it needs to break a previous point, could be called a swing point. All right. So this is a strong low, and this is a weak high. This is strong high, and this is a weak low. As simple as that. That's for the basic market structure. And then it must have also told you that this is called higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, uptrend, downtrend. Simple. This is just a quick revision for basic market structure. We'll proceed to advance. Now, and I saw most of your diagram, and I saw that most of you, once the first structure, which is the first structure here, is being taken out, I saw you write this place as chalk. Good and fine, but that is for basic market structure. Over here, it is not considered yet as chalk. Okay, we have moved over to the advanced. It is not considered as chalk, this first one. But from basic market structure, the first low taken out is considered as a change of character. Now, for advanced market structure, two lows has to be taken out before we'll consider a change of character. Now, even when that two low gets taken out, there are some things that price needs to do before even this low will be called a change of character. Now, this change of character is not a very significant change of character. Why? Because it happened in the lower time frame. A major change of character occurs in the higher time frame. You may likely say the higher time frame from like 3 hours, 4 hours above. Lower time frame we can say 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, for beginners, you have no business with going below at least 30 minutes as a beginner. So this low taking out a change of character for basic market structure, but for advanced market structure, two lows have to be taken out. Now, if you remember, I wrote something, I posted it on Twitter some days ago. I wrote about last points of true mitigation. Let me put it in caps. Last point of true mitigation. And then most of you were asking that, what is this? Okay, whenever I post anything on Twitter that you do not understand, as far that your class is like starting, it hasn't really gone far, don't bother asking if will I teach you, will I not teach you. Whatever I post, I will surely teach you. If I'm putting it out there to the public, then why won't I teach you? Okay. Now, the last point of true mitigation is the place that invalidates a particular zone completely, that there is, will I use the word, there is no repair to it. Now, if price takes out the second break of structure, there could be a repair that price can still buy here. It all depends on the reaction when it came into this second break of structure. There are some things you will see that will make you know that a buy can still occur, and there is what you will see, and then you will consider this place now as a change of character. Now, it is not actually called a change of character per se, because this thing occurred in the lower time frame. Okay, hope you're with your writing material. I don't rate people that don't write. I don't see you as serious. People that don't write, they are not even in my good book. Make sure you are writing. The questions you want to ask could be in your notebook as an answer. So I don't rate people that don't write. Make sure you're writing. You're writing with your notes or your phone, your iPad, whatever. You're writing with your book and your pen. Good for you. But make sure you are jotting down something somewhere. You cannot store all these things in your head for now. Let's proceed. Now, the reaction of price at this point will determine if this zone is gone. Okay. Now, if price takes this zone out fully and we are assured that yes, this zone is actually gone, that is where we can now call this place. It is not even called chalk, but for now, let me just give you put that your chalk, whatever there for now. When we get to order flow, I will tell you what it is called. But for now, let me just put that chalk for now. Okay. Now, after this whole thing has occurred, then we will stop buying, because when you are buying, it is being considered as an uptrend. But when price takes out two internal break of structure, it is now considered as what? A reversal. Price have now reversed from bullish internal movement to bearish. Start giving us what? Strong highs and weak lows, which is what? Lower highs and lower lows. As simple as that. Now, the basic market structure per se would have told you that from here is now considered as what? As time to sell. But was it like that? No. So what do we have to do? We have to buy again, because that zone is still valid. Let's go into the charts. I don't like giving very lengthy videos because people watch these videos so they don't get bored. and we're also having another class again on the same thing some days from now, so I don't need to bore you. Now let's proceed. Now let's okay, good and fine. We have a very good example. Uh, okay, let's use for example now this point. Now most of you, after this place have been taken out, you'll be looking at selling. But what I told you, there's a reaction you see, then you can buy. Okay, let's proceed. Let's go to the current market price. So we have one and two. Now, after this thing occurred here, remember that the reason why this thing is not, we did not give it any retracement here, is because this thing occurred inside particular leg. It occurred inside this particular leg. How did it occur? It did not break this high. Assuming this thing broke this high with the body of the candle before coming down, then we would have come here to give it at least something like this and then going up. But what did it do? It broke with the wick. In short, it did not even get to this high. It just gave wick out, and then it came down, and then it broke above. So which means that what the movement is this way, comes down and then goes up. Not in concern with this one. So this first guy becomes what our first internal break of structure, most recent. Why the second is where you can say price can change trend from. But then, what do you see? Price came into this place and it took it out and it's still buying. That's why I told you that there's a reaction you will see that will tell you that price is not actually leaving, price is not actually going to the opposite trend. Okay, there are people that would start trying to short the market just immediately. That happened. But no. You have to pay attention to the reaction of market every time it gets into either your inducement or it gets to I just used inducement. We have not really got into that, but let me just say so I can use the words. Actually, the most recent leg, which is this one, is classified as an inducement. But why I do not see it yet is because we have not got into liquidity. I don't want to confuse you. Who is that person? Don't do that. Please mute yourself. Thank you. So this first guy, most recent. Now, let's say that after this happened, somebody might want to like call this place a chain of character. No, it is not. It is not yet. This one is just the most recent, second to most recent low. This is the recent low. And then price taking out this point completely. Something like this. Can now say yeah that we have the leg taken out like this. Okay, but like this one that happened here, most especially when price takes out. Okay, there are two things that can happen. Number one, if price takes out this low with the wick of the candle, then goes above it. it is not considered as a change of trend of any kind. A break of structure happens with the body of the candle. And for a particular zone to be invalidated, like for this zone to be invalidated, price has to take out the last point of true mitigation, which is simply taking out this zone completely without retracing above it. Without retracing above it. Okay, so the only way that you can say the price has changed character, I am trying to like debunk few. The basic market structure is not useless, though I won't say it's useless, but I am just going to debunk few things from it, like the aspect of calling this first low taking out as a change of character. It is not. Okay, so it is the second that would be called a change of character, and there's some qualities, like actually there are things that you will see that will make this thing be a change of character. As you can see, it is buying from this point. Now, you don't have to buy for the advanced market structure. If you wanted to buy, you are not expected to buy from this most recent break of structure. You may be asking why, because it is a trap to early buyers. Even in sell, the same thing. If this is the most recent strong high, you do not have to sell from this point. You do not have to sell from this point. The sell can occur in second one, or if it wants to occur from the first one, this first one has to be taken out before you enter. We're not getting into entry yet. I am just showing you a few things. So this first low is the point where we look out for as trap. Okay, now most people that are unprofitable or not consistently profitable, their strategy might just be like whatever they see at this point. If their entry shows up here, they try to buy from here, and then later they complain that they don't have a better win rate. Why don't you have it? It's because you are trading from a liquidity zone. My Twitter account is not on my Mac. I would have read one particular tweet I made some days ago. I think it's yesterday or thereabouts. I made mention that after liquidity has been swept, it is the best way you can trade. An entry that liquidity has been taken out before you enter, the best way you can trade. So, with that being said, the advanced market structure is very, very different from the basic market structure. It was the basic market structure. At this point, we have a change of character already. But this guy is completely different. The advanced market structure. Two break of structure has to be taken out, and the second one that have to be taken out has to be taken out with some qualities before that zone is no more valid. So for the newbies here, I don't rush my class because of I believe that so you can have time to understand, because most of you are very, very new to this. If this class is very long and some terms are hard to understand, you might end up confusing yourself and all. So for the advanced market structure, this will be all for today. The next class is in the morning, and we are still going to be repeating the same topic again. Practically the same thing. In the next class will be on order flow, the movement of price in a particular direction before a disruption. That will be on order flow. All right. So that'll be all for today. I'm taking few questions for a round up. Just as I said on the group, we have the specific time for questions, and you are expected to ask your questions by that time. Before the next day time to answer the next question, I will answer the previous questions, and you just go there. Before you ask a question, make sure nobody has asked that particular question before, or else just wait for the answer I will give to that person. No need repeating it again. So let me take question on this if you have any.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah.
Okay, based on thanks so much for the class. This is what I've been waiting for since. So the chart you showed us, I'm just looking at the. Please, I'm not seeing the screen again. Can you?
Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. So, based on this market structure, the way the place you drew the line, that's the horizontal line. What if market did not break the second one? What if market did not break the second one and start moving up?
What if market did not break this? Break it how? Like come below it, you mean?
Yes. What if it did not come below and break it and start going up?
It's not compulsory for it to come below now. When we get to entry, you learn different ways you can enter directly from this point. Even entering when market breaks it has its own qualifications. You cannot just enter.
Okay. Thank you. Because I'm currently on trade. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, SABIIGAL. Okay.
Okay, please. I wanted to ask, you should please pinpoint the last point of mitigation as an example from this chart that is showing currently. Can you just point that particular spot? Thank you.
Who is talking, please?
I'm Victor. My name is Victor.
Okay.
Okay, from the chart you showed us, I wanted you to just identify an example of the last point of mitigation. I didn't quite get that clear.
We have not gotten into that. We have not gotten into that. It's just a by the way talk.
Okay, thank you. No problem. Everything is good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for this.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Question.
Okay.
After the order.
Hello, good evening, SABIIGAL. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, please, I want to ask one particular question. You said in advanced class, you said when price takes out two internal movements, a change of character happens.
Okay.
So I want to ask, what if after price takes out two internal movements and maybe now we are in an uptrend manner, and price takes out two internal movement instead of it going downwards, like it should change character, it started moving up again. What do we call that kind of?
You didn't hear where I talked about that price can take out the second low and still buy. You guys should not be too forward, okay? Price can take out the second low and still buy. There is a way you can enter it. That is where I was talking about last point of true mitigation. So just be calm to get to that.
Right. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Hello, good evening.
One person at a time, please.
Hello, good evening, SABIIGAL.
Good evening.
Yeah, basically, in advanced market structure, after a break of structure, there must be a retracement or a pullback before we have another break of structure, right?
Sorry, I don't get you. What did you say?
I say in advanced market structure, after a break of
Okay.
structure, the first break of structure, there must be a pullback after that break of structure before we have another break of structure, right?
You must be a pullback or pullback. You
Like
mean
the way
like
you
a replacement
the way
like
you
this
like,
for second
like
break of
for that pullback acting as inducement, like the way you mark it on your charts.
yes, it has to be the true recent break of structure. It has to be the true recent break of structure.
I,
The true recent area
yes,
is
sir.
this one and this one.
I'm not seeing your chart. Sorry.
I think we're having network problem. I cannot even hear you very well.
Okay, let me come back. I'm coming.
Good evening, SABIIGAL. Please, can you hear me?
Good evening,
Please
Sabige.
try to get a good network if you want to ask question. Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, good evening, SABIIGAL. Thank you so much for the class. There was something I wanted to ask while you were doing this analysis on this particular chart.
Okay.
From the way you drew your trend line, right? Why won't you consider this? How do I
This one,
point out this now? Can you hear
this
me?
one. I'm hearing you. I can hear you. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, I can
Why
see your
don't I
screen. I
consider
can
this
see your
one
screen.
as a retracement, like one leg? You mean? The reason is
Yes,
because this
exactly.
did not break this high. There is no break or structure here. That's why CPI did not even do like it wants to respect anything here. It has to break this high. It did not break this high. What broke this high is this low. So this made this thing one. This thing is just a liquidity. It's called structural liquidity that is found inside this most recent break of structure. Do you understand now?
Yes, I do understand. So
All
anytime
right.
we see a chart, so anytime we see that price doesn't break the previous zone, then we can't consider that as a valid high low, like the previous like we won't consider that a valid high low until it
A
breaks the
valid high
structure,
low.
right?
What's a valid high low? You will consider that as a break of structure.
Yes, then the lower part of that that one that did not, hit the break of structure, we can't call that a valid break of structure. What am I asking? So what I'm trying to say is,
A valid higher low, you
Okay.
mean?
now you explain that because price did not break this place here, this zone, to create a new break of structure, we can't consider that point exactly. We can't consider that point a new high low. So anytime who's this one? So anytime we see this, anytime there is no break of structure, there is no way we can consider the low a high low until there's a
Is this
valid
high
break
low
of structure.
that that is confused? Who are you trying?
Higher
I
low.
think
I think she
It's
means higher low.
higher low she's trying to say.
Yes,
It's
higher
higher
low.
low.
Sorry.
I'm not seeing your
For
screen.
a point to be as alright, it's fine. For a point to be considered as strong, it needs to significantly break structure. What do I mean? Now, this is where this break of structure occurred here. Okay, let us assume that you on
I'll see your screen. See your screen. I can't see it.
alright. Let's
So
proceed. I'm
Good.
here. So
Can I?
Who is this
let's
guy?
give this point a benefit of
Ah,
doubt
Sabigel.
that we have one leg here. Can you calm down,
Sabigel.
please?
Sabigel.
Can you calm down? Let me explain the question of the other
No,
person to her. No.
no.
Hello, good evening.
Now let's give it the benefit of doubt that this high is an internal, which is a breakout structure inside here. Now, what happens to this place? Where is this part? This one? Where is the breakout structure here? Because obviously this one did not get to this high, where this high is. It did not get there. So, will this one hang on the air? Or are we going to just force candles to come above it, then retrace backwards? So this thing did not even get to this high. So what happens here? Nothing. So because this guy don't have a break of structure, it means that what all of them will now be together. Because where will this guy be? Okay, so that's the reason why this cannot be a break of structure on its own. Maybe not on this time frame, 30 minutes. Could be on the 5 minutes. All right. So
Mimi,
the
Mimi, can you
person
hear?
that asked the question, are you clarifying now? Hold on.
Hello.
The person that asked the question, are you clarified? Come,
Yes.
Sorry, Mimi, can you hear me now?
I
Good
can
evening,
hear
sir.
you.
Okay, thank you very much for the class. Yeah. So I have two things I want to quickly say here before I round up. So first of all,
All
when we
right.
were taking the basic classes, to make the class more organized, like we had like a system in place. I don't know if Sparrow is on this call. He is the way we raise up our hands and he like unmutes one person at a time because the call is actually very rowdy and we can't even hear the questions very very clearly because everybody has a lot of questions to ask. And since we can answer our questions by 12
They're
p.m.
unmuting themselves now. They are unmuting themselves, not
Yeah,
me.
so I think there's
I'm
a way they
on.
did it. Yeah, sorry. I think there's a way they did it that nobody could unmute themselves. We could just raise up our hand. So I don't know if Sparrow is here right now. He knows the way like to get that done. Do you understand? So to make
He's
the
here,
class
but
like
look at
Sparrow, are you in this class,
any
please?
Yeah,
problem that we cannot
yeah,
fix
I'm
Yes.
on the
right
call. It
now.
will be fixed. It will be fixed from the next
And
class.
any question that anybody cannot take right now, it will be taken at 12 p.m. because you already gave a timing, like that questions will be answered. Do you understand? So we don't have to rush our questions. And also the second thing, sorry, I can notice like a lot of people are saying the network is lagging. I don't know if you can address this. Maybe it is from their network or it's a
Which
general something. Do you understand? If you can
Is
just
it
address
lagging from
this.
your end?
Personally, it is lagging from my end, but maybe it is my Wi-Fi. I do not know. But like a lot of people are actually having the same complaint. Do you understand? So like
Is
that's
it
why.
from mine or Slings?
No, there are some people saying it's actually going well on their side. Do you understand? And there's some people saying, oh, it's lagging. But the
Oh,
majority,
I
I
have
think, are
not
saying
stopped
it's
the
lagging.
recorded video now. The recorded video will determine if it's lagging or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The recorded view will probably not lag. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people have to wait for that. Do you get? Personally, I was having issues with the diagram as you were showing us on the screen. I was not really seeing, but I know that recorded video will not be like that. So I was willing to, wait for that instead and watch it. Do you understand? So that's like the two things I wanted to address. Thank you very much for the class.
Good evening, SABIIGAL.
Good evening, SABIIGAL.
The advanced market structure. Please, can you go to your chat?
Yes, sir.
Please, can you go to your chat? Can you go to your chat? I want to ask a question on advanced market structure. Okay.
Can you see my
Okay. You said if you want to verify a real change of character. Yes, I can see your screen. You said before we verify a valid change of character, the two lower, that is higher low will be taken out. So considering this last one, that place, the way market started reacting from. Okay, let's say now from the 1 hour time frame. The 4 hours time frame, it closed with a candle wick that is above. But in the 1 hour time frame, is showing there is a break of structure with candle body. Like, which one are we going to, pick as our valid break of
we'll
structure?
get
Is it the
we
candle
will
wicks that is, the fake break of structure, or the 1 hour time
get to
frame
that.
real break of structure? I don't know
Get
if you
to
get the
that.
question.
We will get to that. I understand what you're saying, and we'll get to that soon.
Good evening, SABIIGAL. I want to ask the question.
Good evening, SABIIGAL. Good evening.
Okay, I wanted to ask whether there's a systematic way, like a mechanical way of knowing how to map a market structure. Like you now coming to the market with our own marking, like our own mapping, we tally with your own. Like there
Can you
way,
hear me?
a systematic way of mapping the structure.
With time, you will know. When I get to structural liquidity, even if I say it now, you may not understand. Okay, they have the method that is used to know a valid break of structure. But even if I say it now, you will not understand. When we get to liquidity, you might have a
Okay.
bit of understanding about it. But for now,
SABIIGAL. Hello.
I'll be taking two more questions and that'll be all. Good evening.
Okay.
Hello.
Good evening,
Proceed.
SABIIGAL.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
SABIIGAL. Okay.
Please, a time after.
There's something I want
Please,
to pick
please.
a
It's
point
getting
out.
a bit loud. Just you still have 12 o'clock to ask all your questions. Allow one person to talk.
Something I want to add, SABIIGAL. The thing is that during the class, I was not really getting what you were saying. So maybe from the next class, can you use something to give us a direction, maybe an arrow or something to truly show us what you're trying to talk about?
Like,
Did you get me?
a what? A biro.
No, like an arrow or something to just
That's what
indicate
I
what
did
the
right
point.
past.
It was not really clear. In fact, some people were complaining in the group that please check, you're not really pointing out. Thank you.
Hello, SABIIGAL. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Okay, so
see,
what he was trying to say is like a screen pointer, right? Because when you were explaining, I didn't quite get where you were pointing to. Maybe you can get like a screen pointer. So he used it for us during his sessions. Please,
That's
ma.
what I'm.
Try use like
Okay,
a
let's try.
screen
Let's
pointer.
try it again. Can you see my screen? And if can
Yes,
you
I can
see
see your screen.
finger pointing
Yes, I can
something?
see your
Can you see an arrow or a finger pointing this direction? The first break of structure. Can you see it?
Not seeing anything.
Too tiny, but you can see it.
Showing, I can
Screen is
see.
clear now. You can see it
Because
now.
it
I can
was
see it is clear.
Okay,
I'm
I can
using
see it.
notebook. It's not like even my iPad has a pointer. Phones have pointers as well.
Continue, and we can see it.
It's
The
showing, you
font
can
size of your screen. Increase the font size of your screen, then everybody can see.
So everybody can see it. That's the point.
You should
your
do.
phone to landscape mode.
Pointer
I'm
logo
not
from
using the mobile
this
phone.
logo from the menu on the left.
Okay, can you see now? Can you see the arrow?
Oh, no, I can't see your screen.
I can see the arrow. Continue.
Anybody that is not seeing, it is your network. Please try to fix it before the next class. Can you see the arrow? Can you see an
Yes,
arrow?
yes, ma.
SABIIGAL, that place you said is not a valid break of structure. I want to ask a question that what if a week breaks that place? Hello,
It doesn't
hello.
matter. It doesn't matter.
So then it's still not a valid
It can never be a valid break
break
of
of
structure.
structure. A week breaks
Even if
the
it
first
broke it,
half.
a weak break is not a break of structure. It has to break with the body of the candle.
Please, can you make this in on a PDF so we can
Okay.
as well read it as well, just to follow up with the video?
PDF.
Is it possible we can have that, please?
You are not in basic class anymore. You are not in basic class anymore. You have to try to understand. That's why I made this class very, very long. This is the first time I'm teaching up to 2 months. I've never done that before. And I don't even put a full section for just questions. So please, you have to try your best. Good evening. This should be the last one, please. Thank you. But the video is getting long. These people that are newbies will not understand.
Okay. Please, we're having an uptrend. Price.
What did you say?
I said we are having an uptrend.
Okay.
And price comes down with the week and doesn't break the lower high. And price goes up again and comes down to the week again. Can we still consider that an uptrend?
If price does what?
Price comes down out of an uptrend and breaks the trend line.
This and breaks this. Which of the low did it break? This one or this one?
No, the second one with the week.
The second one with a week. If
Yes.
what?
If it comes down to that and breaks it, can we still consider it an uptrend?
Can I consider it as a what?
As an uptrend.
If price comes to this second low and break it with a week,
yes,
can I still consider it as an uptrend? Yes, of course. I've said it before that week break is not valid as anything. Assuming that this high was broken, this high here was broken with the week, then this point will not be considered as a strong low. The last strong low we have is this one. For a point to be called strong, it needs to break with the body of the candle. So for there to be a change of character here that we will not consider this place anymore, this trend as an uptrend, it needs to take out this place with the body of the candle and not just any how reaction. There is how it needs to break this place with the body of the candle. So if we take this place with the wick,
Okay.
it means that this place is still valid. As a matter of fact, what happened is just a simple week out. Price wicked the place and bought.
Okay.
Okay, so it is still very much valid and it is not a change of character.
All right. Thank you very much.
1 hour time
All right.
from your structure right now.
Hello, I can't hear you.
How can we identify the swing high, swing low from your structure you just, identified with us from your chat?
Somebody asked that question before, and I told him that as time goes on, you will understand. Even if I say it now, it involves structural liquidity. Perhaps I have not even told you what structural liquidity is, so you will definitely be confused. So you should ask question based on what I just explained and what we have done, so we don't distract the learning process. Thank you.
SABIIGAL, good evening. I have a question with week and body break.
Okay.
Now, if we are on high, let's say we are on 2 hours time frame or a high time frame, and we are dealing with structure. If it breaks with a week on, let's say, 1 hour time frame, if you go to a lower time frame like 15 minutes, you might see a body break, a clear body break. Is it still significant, or we should work with just that time frame that we are working on in terms of structure?
As time goes on, you understand. Okay. Even if I say it now, you will not understand.
Okay.
Good evening, SABIIGAL.
Good evening.
Yeah, please, I want to know, how do we just go and identify these two recent internals on the chart? Like, what time frame do we necessarily have to look out for when we are trying to trade for to the two recent internals?
Just check for 1 hour, 30 minutes at most, 15 minutes. But for now, since you are still learning, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours is fine. That's all.
Okay. And so once we have seen these two recent internals, do we just wait for it to be taken out, or we enter directly like that?
You people are too forward for my liking.
All
Do you
right,
want
all
to
right.
go and trade this night?
No, I'm just asking.
Please, we have to stop here. Most of the questions that are coming in now is not in line with what we have done. Okay, so we have to stop
All right.
Let's end
and have
already.
a lovely
See you in the next class.
Thank you for the class. See you next class.